everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Lots About Something podcast. This is the podcast where we, the Lots, always talk about something. And hopefully it's going to be something that's going to be encouraging or entertaining. We hope to make you laugh or just enjoy your car ride, whatever it is that you're doing. Just thank you so much for stopping by, hanging out with us a little bit. I am one half of this amazing podcast experience that you're about to have. My name is Chris, and I'm, of course, joined by my lovely bride, Christy. How are you doing today, Christy?
Doing good.
Doing good. You know, we've talked about this before on the podcast, Christy, but I really think that people are interested in getting some Christy merch.
Well,
what do you think about that?
Not necessarily Christy merch, but just sayings that I say.
Yeah.
You know,
I
think people would wear it.
Yeah, maybe so. Doing good. And what would another one saying be? I love COVID. Remember when you said that? Do you think that would be a good t-shirt to wear?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't. I love the rain.
I love the rain, or we heart cakes. I mean, we
Yeah.
do talk a lot about cakes on the podcast.
Give me the cake.
Yeah, give me the cake. So, hey guys, we do appreciate you jumping in, and however you're listening to us, whether it's Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, thanks so much for checking it out. And I don't know if you know this, but you can watch us on Spotify. So if you want to see our pretty faces, actually, So I caved in, Christy, and not only do we have Christmas lights in the house, but we have Christmas lights on our screen. So if you're watching the podcast, we put up a strand of Christmas lights on the top of the screen where you can watch us. It's right there. Very Christmassy. Do you think it adds the Christmas vibes?
I love it. We need to put some Christmas lights in between your hats.
Maybe. I don't know that I would be against that when it gets to be more Christmas time. But, Christy...
Decorate your office.
Yeah. But this is actually a special edition, maybe.
Okay.
Because when this podcast comes out, it'll be the week of Thanksgiving. Okay.
Okay.
And so we're gonna talk about some Thanksgiving things here in just a minute. But before we do that, why don't we just give an update on what's new? And so this is a segment that we do pretty much every time we do the podcast, and we just talk about what is new, what's been happening in our world since the last time that we did the podcast. So why don't you? I don't know if people really care about the what's new part, but at this point we just do it every time.
You know, I heard someone today or this weekend or whenever, we've been kind of busy.
It's been busy.
Talk about they know what's going on in our lives because of the podcast.
That's true. We do talk about what's going on, and so if you want to keep up with
what's going on,
what's new, that we give it. This is where that happens right here. So, Christy, why don't you? Do you have anything that's new? Anything happening?
I got a pretty big update.
You have a pretty big update,
guys.
I'm actually interested in. I don't know what you're about to say.
I finished my book.
Okay.
That is a huge accomplishment.
Where the Crawdads Sing.
I even watched the movie.
Yes.
With you and Lily.
I watched it too. I got suckered into it. It was one of those things where it's like, do you want to watch this? And I was like, no. And then I didn't have anything else to do.
It's quality time together.
And so I sat down, and it was not a bad movie. It was enjoyable. I liked it. I would not have wanted to read the book, but the movie was not bad at all.
I started watching my Netflix series came back out.
Which one?
For The Crown.
Okay.
Season 5.
Now, okay.
I've been very disappointed with season 5 Netflix.
All right, I'm going to be honest, okay?
So I've been a little under the weather.
Yeah.
And so I've been catching up on all my shows.
Yeah.
Manifest come back out. I finished it.
Oh, wow.
And then The Crown come out. And
you've got a lot. Must have been really under the weather.
Yeah, so I know you got to be honest. I cut you off.
Here's what I was going to say. You're talking about The Crown. So we're in the middle. We talked about this a couple weeks ago. We're in the middle of a series at our church, a message series at our church called At the Movies. And just really quickly, the whole point of that is Pastor Wesley, our pastor, our friends, he is taking if you're not familiar with the movies, what he does is he takes movies, shows scenes out of them, and then he teaches biblical principles out of the movie. So not every movie necessarily has something you can pull up, but there's a lot of movies that tell stories and you can apply spiritual principles to them. It's the same thing. I mean, in a way, it's the same thing Jesus did when he told parables. He told stories and then added spiritual principles to those. And so we're just doing that using movies. And so this week he cheated a little bit. I think he cheated. He didn't do a movie, but he did an episode of The Crown. Was today. And I'll be really honest, I was interested and it had me kind of wanting to watch some more of the show. So I may have to, I don't know if I'll like it, but
I'll watch it again.
Would you watch it again?
I would. I like to watch it.
So I may have to, I like the history part of it. And so it was really interesting to me. So, yeah, so you did that and you watched your show. So anything else going on with you?
I'm excited about the finale of The Walking Dead tonight.
It's the
last one.
It's the very last one.
I'm going to watch it.
You're going to watch it tonight?
I'm going to watch it. You going to watch it with me?
Tonight? You're going to watch it tonight?
I am. I hadn't watched enough TV, folks, so I'm going to go on and watch some more.
I will watch this last one because I'm interested to see how it ends. I haven't really cared about it recently, but I would like to see how they're going to close it out. And see how, I know they've got other things planned. So yes, I will. Yeah. I will watch this last episode.
I'm down another 1.8 pounds.
That's great.
After gaining, some back, I've lost 1.8 again. Yeah. It's a lot of hard work.
That's really great. Really great.
That's some things going on with me.
Yeah, no, those are all great things. We've been really busy at the church, had a lot of stuff going on at the movies, was a lot of prep work. We're going into our Buy a Tree, Change a Life season. And so if you're not familiar with that, essentially we sell Christmas trees and then we give away all the profit that we get from the trees. We give that away and we give it to help different projects. It's primarily helping children globally and locally. That's the tagline, but it's orphanages and we do some local projects, mission trips. I mean, not missions, but like local mission things, give out book bags, do birthday parties for kids, Christmas gifts. And so it's a cool thing to be a part of, but it's a lot of work.
So if y'all need live Christmas trees, y'all get with us on Instagram and we can hook y'all up.
Yeah, that. Or if you just go to buytreechangealife.com, you can find a site if you don't live in the area.
But if you live in Germany and you need, you want to donate.
That is true.
A tree.
I don't know that we have any sites in Germany to our 3% of our German listeners. And so, you can donate another way. Yeah.
You can buy a tree and donate it, and we'll give it to somebody.
Yeah, we will give it, and that happens a lot. People will come buy trees, and this sounds crazy, but just to give perspective, people are they're paying $1,000 for trees, and that's not unheard of. It's not crazy for that to happen because the community realizes that we're using the money for good, and so they pay way too much for their tree, and then we give all that money away. So it is a really cool project. So that it's just been busy, just a lot of stuff going on, end of the year stuff, getting ready for Christmas, getting ready, and then getting ready for Thanksgiving. It's just been really busy. But I have a vacation coming up in a couple of weeks. I'm excited about it. Mm-hmm. So
I'm just waiting on you to tell me when we have Christmas money.
Yeah,
because I'm ready to go Christmas shopping.
Are you? Mm-hmm. What do you want to buy?
Things.
Okay.
I have stuff I want to buy you.
Really?
Two things
that's
already.
Surprising because you are not a gifter. You don't normally think about buying gifts.
I've seen 2 gifts and I thought, he needs it.
All right.
You need it.
I do need it. I don't know what it is, but I do need it. And if you think I need it, I most desperately need it. Yeah. So I'm excited about that.
So once you give me a thumbs up, Amazon, here I come.
Okay. All right. That sounds good. That sounds really good. Well, this is our Thanksgiving edition, and I wanted to just bring up a couple of things. Thanksgiving. Obviously, we've taken the last couple of weeks and talking about things that we are thankful for. We did that. We talked about gratitude. Last week we talked about being blessed. Mm-hmm. This week we kind of thought we'd dive more into the subject or the topic of Thanksgiving itself. Thanksgiving is a great time. Thanksgiving can also be a stressful time because there's a lot of prep. There's a lot of, you got to get the food, make the plans, all that kind of stuff. And then there's the family part. That show, family comes in wherever you're gathering, if it's like at a place or somewhere like that. And sometimes people are like, I'm going to spend time with family that I don't really talk to any other time of year. And you're like, what is it that I should talk about? Have you ever had that problem where you're like, what is it that we should talk about? Now, you and I generally, in all transparency, you and I generally are only having Thanksgiving meals typically with people we talk to on a regular basis anyway. Mm-hmm. So that's not necessarily true, but there are times, a family member from out of town comes in and you're like, I don't know what to talk to. I don't know what to talk to that person about. So I have a list of potential things that you could talk about at your Thanksgiving table.
Okay.
All right. Now, do you think that this is going to be helpful? Are you feeling excited about this?
We'll see.
Okay.
Can you hear me? I sound soft today.
Yeah, you're soft, but I do hear you.
I'm very soft.
You got a yellow line when you talk, so.
Oh, I thought you told me I had to yell a lot. Okay.
No, don't yell a lot. You have a yellow line when you're talking.
That's okay.
Yeah, we want a yellow. We want like a yellow line. We don't want a red line, but yellow. We want it to be in yellow. Yellow's good.
Okay.
All right.
I was thinking something, but.
Okay. All right.
Go ahead.
So here we go. Conversation starters for family members that you may not, or just different things that you can talk about. Okay. So if you're sitting around and it's quiet, you could have this conversation. The lottery, we talked about this the other day. The lottery had been really big. You could talk about if you won the lottery, what would you spend the money on? Do you think that's a good conversation to have?
For sure, yeah.
What if you won the lottery, the whatever $1 billion it was, and you would have brought home like $700 million, what would you have spent? What's the first thing you would have bought with your money? What is the first thing you would have done?
Paid off the house and the car.
Yeah. That's what I would have done too. That would have been the very first thing I did was pay off the house. Mm-hmm. Well, I think I would pay tithes first.
Yeah.
Could you imagine Pastor Wesley's face if we showed up with a tithe check for $7? Now, all right, here's a great question. Do you have to pay tithes on what you won, or do you pay tithes on what you brought home? I've never thought about that.
I'd probably pay it on all of it. We were blessed enough to win it.
Yeah, maybe so. All right. So you pay the tithes on that. So we do that. I definitely do that. So yeah, same thing for me. All right. Here's another one. This is just a generic thought. You could go around the room and each say what you're most thankful for that year. Could you see our family doing that? So your side of the family, my side of the family, at either one of those gatherings, can you see there being a time in those moments, those gatherings where we go around the room and each say what we're thankful for?
I think that would be awkward.
You think saying what you're thankful for at Thanksgiving would be awkward?
To me, it would be awkward. Or you have family members like me that probably don't want to. That would be very weird to be put. What is it? Like be in front of people, put on the spot to do that.
Yeah, but it's your family.
Still. I think some people would be uncomfortable doing that.
Okay, so you don't want to do that.
We haven't before, have we?
No, we have not. We have not, but maybe this is the year. Maybe this is the year that we start something new and we go around the table and we all say something that we're thankful for. What do you think about that? Are you with me? Are we gonna? You and I can start a Thanksgiving movement together.
That's not on my list.
Okay. All right. That's not a movement that you want to start?
I don't think so.
Okay. All right. Okay. Here's another question. This is a good question. If you could be famous, again, these are conversation starters, things that you could bring up at a Thanksgiving meal with your family or friends or whatever it is you're doing and create conversation about it. If you could be famous for something, what would it be? Do you think that's a good conversation starter?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You're
Why?
So I hadn't seen you in a while.
Yeah.
If you could be famous for something, what would you be?
Yeah. What would you
be famous for?
What would you be famous for, Christy? If Aunt Flo, who you've not seen in forever, came to Thanksgiving, and they, it's awkward, and she said, "Christy, what would you want to be famous for?" What would you say?
I don't know.
You don't know? You don't know what you want to be famous for?
No, not really. You?
I think I would want to be famous for
It's a tough question.
That is a weird. I don't really know. I've never really considered being famous. That's never been like a goal of mine to be famous.
Would you want to be a famous YouTuber?
So the idea of that is great, but I know a lot of the behind the scenes of what that takes, and I don't know that I would want to do that. And so like the people that are famous YouTubers, what they have to do to get to that place and to maintain that place is a lot. And I've read a lot about that, and it's a grind. I don't know that I would love that. So I don't know. Now, the idea of being famous to anybody seems great, but I don't know that that's not a goal for me. Like, I don't want to be famous.
I'm glad.
You're glad I don't want to be a
YouTuber?
Oh, no.
It wouldn't go over well in the house.
You don't think it would go over well? Okay. Why? Because you wouldn't want to go be a YouTuber and like record your life and all that kind of stuff like everybody else does? That's why YouTubers generally fade out and they come in spurts because the maintenance of that is so much.
Well, we're not going to do that with our lives. I was thinking more like the gaming aspect of it. That's what I was talking about.
Now, all right. That would be really cool. That would be really cool. If you could, I think going back to like a kid, any kid would have a desire to play video games for a living, make money for it. That does sound appealing, but again, it's the maintenance of it that's really difficult.
Okay.
So, all right, here a couple more conversation starters here. Okay, here's something that you could ask like grandparents or other family members that maybe knew your parents or whatever. And I guess there's different scenarios, but what about mom and dad drove you crazy when they were a kid?
Yeah.
That would be a good conversation. And you could relive some old stories and create maybe some laughter and some good memories maybe.
Okay.
Some nostalgia. Would you like that?
Maybe.
What do you think drove your parents crazy? If our kids asked your parents that, what would they say about you?
She was a great kid. She didn't drive us crazy.
I know what they would say. I know exactly what they would say.
What?
That you had a smart mouth.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
I don't have a smart mouth.
You have a sassy mouth.
Maybe.
Yeah, I know. There's no maybe. I know that you have a sassy mouth.
Get what you get, buddy.
So that's probably what they would say. I would say that my parents would say, if my kids asked my parents that, they would say he was just too lovable.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I was just too lovable.
You're just too lovable.
I just was lovey-dovey, just lovable, huggable, snuggable, too much.
Still that. You're still that
Still
today,
all those
buddy.
things. Yeah, I am. There I am. All right, here we go. One more. Let's see. Oh, this is in a different category. I didn't realize these are in categories. What? Oh, that's dumb. All right, here's a random one. Here we go. What is a new and unexpected hobby that you have started this year? You think that would be a good conversation starter?
Maybe.
Maybe. You're not a big fan of these conversation starters.
I'm not a conversation person anyway, so maybe it's
so
not.
Can you picture yourself
No.
having any of these conversations?
I can't. I just can't. I'm gonna be talking about the turkey and the dressing and what all's good.
Typically, what happens at our Thanksgiving, typically, especially the one here that we do at our house, your family normally comes over, and then you and your sister hide in the kitchen, just doing a bunch of stuff.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
That's all. I mean.
Yeah. That's all
Well, I mean,
the
you
time.
got to have somebody getting everything prepared, make
That
sure
is
everything's
true.
ready to go.
And y'all do a great job. Listen, I'm not.
I mean, if we all sat on our tails and didn't cook nothing, there wouldn't be anything for
That
Thanksgiving.
is true. That is true. Now, speaking of that.
And we'll talk about it, but my mom brings food.
Yeah.
I got two sisters. They both bring food.
Yeah.
Then our cousins come and they bring food.
Yeah.
So,
No, we have tons of food.
so
Having the food is not the problem. That is what brings us to the next part of this conversation. So let's forget about the conversation part. Let's talk about what really, really matters on Thanksgiving Day, and that's the menu.
okay.
All right. Now, everybody has different menus. Everybody has different things that matter to them. But there are things that are must-haves on Thanksgiving Day. Now, that's different for everybody. Everybody is different. And so, there are some must-have things that we cannot live without. All right? So here's what we'll do. Let's see, what's the best way to do this? Should we list our must-haves, or should we say what we're going to have and then say if it's a must-have for us or not? What do you think? Or do you just want to do like a top 5 list of our favorite Thanksgiving food?
I mean, I think yours and mine are going to be different.
Okay. All right. Do you have it written out? Like, I can tell you right now.
I've got my 5.
I can tell you right now a couple things that are on my top 5 list.
Okay.
What would be on your top 5 list?
My number 1 that you couldn't go without on Thanksgiving would be dressing.
Yes.
Not everybody's dressing's the same, by the way.
That is true.
But we have a really good dressing.
It is really good, and it is on my top 5.
Okay.
Now, let me ask this. Is cranberry another part of that, or is it put together?
We'll make it on the side.
So cranberry and dressing is together, or is it a different thing? Because if it's...
Well, we like our cranberry sauce with our dressing.
But here's the deal. Hold on. This is very, very, very important. When it comes to cranberry sauce, I don't want cranberries in it. I want the jelly that plops out of the can, that's in the shape of the can, bobbling around in the bowl. That's what I want. I don't even know what it's made of. I don't even know if cranberries are in it, but that has to be on there. So if cranberry is separate, then that's my 1, 2. Dressing and cranberry sauce are my 1 and 2.
Okay.
So that's for me.
You want me to do my list? And
Go ahead.
I think ham. Good fat ham.
Shout out.
The good ham.
The good ham. Okay.
Yeah, the good ham.
Yeah. No, I agree.
There's the good ham.
Is there a bad ham?
I'm talking about the big, fat, pink ham.
What? Is there another ham that's another color?
There's different hams, but
Now, do you want it like, what is it, like sugar.
Oh, I brown
cured.
sugar it with pineapples on it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So that's on my list.
Now, all right. Let me ask this about the ham. Cutting the ham is a challenge.
It's a chore. Some people buy it pre-sliced and it's already good to go.
Yeah. We don't do that.
I just cut it. You get it, buddy. It could be a big chunk or a little chunk.
All right. Being the person that cuts the ham is a good thing and a bad thing. It's a good thing because you get to taste test the ham as you cut it.
I'll tell you.
But it's a bad thing because by the time it's time for food to actually happen, you're full and you don't want any more ham.
I'll just say, good thing it's just family coming to it because we taste test a lot of it.
Yeah.
We taste test it and taste test it and taste test it.
That is true.
So.
All right. So
Dressing,
cranberry
sauce,
sauce, ham. All right. What else?
potato salad
Okay. That's a must have.
for me. Mm-hmm. I make it.
You make the salad, potato salad. Mm-hmm. It's really good. I like it.
Okay.
I like it. All right. What else?
Sweet potato casserole with the brown sugar crumble.
Okay.
It's must be on my plate.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
And I'll add a sixth one. I'll add some rolls on the side.
That's 5.
I know.
Rolls
that's
aren't
what
making it.
If I had to make a plate,
Yes.
that's what it would be.
Okay.
And turkey's not even on it.
No, you can keep the turkey at home. I'm going to be honest.
Now I like turkey, and I like it on my sandwich.
All right.
But it's not on my list.
It's not on my list to even bring. Like, we can have Thanksgiving and not have turkey, and I'll be fine. I say that with a disclaimer, though. My brother-in-law, Jeremy, he fries a turkey. It's the greatest turkey I've ever tasted in my whole life.
And you eat it.
And I eat it. And it's the only turkey that I will ever eat, ever, is that turkey. Mm-hmm. It is delicious.
So what's the rest of your list?
Okay. Here it is.
Okay.
It's really not that different than yours.
No.
It is dressing and cranberry sauce.
Okay.
All right, those 2. Ham. All right.
3. So what's going to be different here?
Green stuff.
Okay.
The green stuff, I have to have the green stuff.
I don't like the green stuff.
Even if nothing else, even if there was nothing else on the table, I would, if there were no dressing, no cranberry, no ham, I'd want the green stuff. I eat it all day.
For y'all wondering what the green stuff is, it's pistachio pudding.
It's like
with marshmallows and Cool Whip.
So
right?
It's like a pistachio pudding. The thing that it's most like that people may be familiar with is like an ambrosia, right? But ambrosia typically is like fruit cocktail with
cocktails, fruit, right?
Yeah, fruit cocktail.
Yeah.
With white marshmallows.
Yes.
This is a pistachio pudding, the marshmallows, like some pecans in it, I think.
Cool Whip.
And man, it's delicious.
Okay.
Your sister makes it. I think your mom makes it too.
Mm-hmm.
It is one of my favorite things that we have at Thanksgiving and Christmas. And I've actually requested that your sister make me some before Thanksgiving to test it and make sure that her skills are still up, because she hadn't made it in a year. I just want to make sure that she's going to bring the A game. And the only way I know to do that is for her to go ahead and make one ahead of time. Do you think she'll do that?
She said she's going to make you a bowl.
Yeah, she's going to make me my own bowl at Thanksgiving. I need that, but also need a bowl before Thanksgiving. Do you think that can happen?
I don't know. Thanksgiving's Thursday.
I know, but still, it doesn't matter. Also, the other thing that's on my list, I'm really torn here because there's only 5 things. I think I'm going to say the sweet potato thing that you mentioned.
It's good, isn't it?
With the brown sugar
Pecans.
thing, whatever it is on top of it. I think that's going to be it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's going to be it. Now, some honorable mentions. These aren't on the top 5, but
I forgot one.
these are some honorable mentions that I want to have. Deviled eggs.
Yes, I was going to say I forgot the deviled eggs.
Deviled eggs, I want those.
Yes. We should have did a top 10.
I want to eat. I like. I don't think our family, I don't think at your family, but at my family, they make like a green bean casserole kind of a thing. I really like it. I think it's normally really good.
Yeah, we make it sometimes, but sometimes we just do green beans.
Yeah.
We don't have to.
So
have
that's an honorable mention. Your potato salad is up there. It's a high honorable mention.
It didn't make your list?
It didn't make the 5. I love it, and I'm
can't
going
believe
to
that.
eat it. But it's not in the 5.
I can't believe that.
Yeah.
I love my potato
I
salad.
think it's great. I'm eating it. Here's a couple of things that
Well, I hope so.
yeah, here's a couple of things that I'm leaving off the Thanksgiving menu. They're not going to be on my plate, okay? Turkey, macaroni and cheese. Mm-hmm. I don't want either one of those.
I like macaroni. I'll normally get a little spoonful, but there's so much food here where you can only eat little bits. And then you go eat again, and then for the next 2 days, we live off of everything we cook.
That is the challenge of, because typically we eat lunch here at our house with your family, and then, my family doesn't want to wait till 7 o'clock at night to eat. So for us, they typically wait and do like a midday lunch. And so this year is going to be at 3 o'clock. So we're not going to be able to go hard into paint on Thanksgiving Day at 12. We're going to have to pace ourselves because we're going to have to get geared up again for the next one.
Did you say hard into paint?
Hard in the paint. Yeah, it's a sports phrase where it talks about basketball where you're very aggressive down low under the net where the paint is. It's called going hard in the paint.
Never heard of it.
Because you're fighting for baskets or you're fighting for rebounds, you're going hard in the paint. You can't be super aggressive at the mill. You kind of gotta set back a little bit and pace yourself because you got a long way to go. I'm a professional of this.
Hard in the paint, folks.
Yeah.
Don't go hard in the paint this Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Hard in the paint.
You've never heard that phrase?
When you said it, I was like, hard in the paint. What are you painting?
I'm not painting anything. Painting is one of my top 3 least favorite things to do.
Okay. All right. Carry on.
So those, the other, I was going to say there's probably some desserts that are on the honorable mention list, but,
honestly, after I eat Thanksgiving, it's hard. I eat Thanksgiving food and then I make a to-go plate of desserts because I'm too full to eat the desserts at that time.
yeah,
So,
I will eat green stuff.
do you consider that dessert?
Yes.
Okay.
That's what I eat for dessert, typically. That's all I really need.
So, we're excited about Thanksgiving, if
We
you
are.
can't tell.
We're excited about Thanksgiving. We're looking forward to it. Looking forward to spending time with our family. Looking forward to spending time eating some really good food. And, we hope that you guys have a wonderful, amazing Thanksgiving and hope that you're safe. I'm not sure if you're traveling or, you're staying home. Maybe you're like us and people are coming to your house or whatever it is. Man, we just want to wish you guys a very happy Thanksgiving, one with you and your family. And Christy, I'll say this, and I don't mean this as a cliche statement because we're here, and I am thankful for those that listen to the podcast. The truth is this, they could literally listen to anything, but the very fact that you take moments, whether this is the only episode that you've ever listened to or you've listened to all of the episodes, man, thank you very much for taking time and listening and letting us, entertain you. Hopefully you laugh a little bit with us. Hopefully we encourage you a little bit. Regardless, though, whatever it may be, I'm really thankful that everybody listens. Well, all the time people come up and say, hey, I listened to your podcast. I talk about that. Christy's funny. They're hilarious. I think most people feel familiar with me, but they get to know you through the podcast, which I think is exciting.
Yeah. I enjoy it. I don't know how or why I enjoy it, but I enjoy it.
Yeah.
I look forward to it every week because I know I've got my listeners coming Monday morning. Even if it's 10 o'clock at night, we're going to record this podcast.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, absolutely. So, well, man, that's all we've got for you today. Do you have a wow?
I have a wow.
Okay. All right. Well, Christy, before I close us out, why don't you give us a wow? This is a words of wisdom.
Yeah, just a little.
Wow.
I'd call it it's just scriptures, and some people might need to hear it for the week.
Yeah, it was
since
good.
Thanksgiving's about to get on, so it's just a little word of the day from Proverbs 17,
Okay.
verse 22, and this is for those that I don't know, maybe struggle with Thanksgiving or just having a hard time this week.
Okay.
This is for them. A cheerful heart is good medicine, but a crushed spirit dries up the bones. So just go into it with a cheerful heart. Be happy. Be cheerful for who you spend your time with. It's good medicine to the soul.
Yeah.
Instead of being down and out and crushed because it just dries up your bones. So be cheerful this week.
Yeah.
Be thankful this week.
You know, it's easy to go into seasons like this, and maybe things are difficult, or maybe, you know, there's loss, whatever the reason is. But the same thing is true, whether it's a holiday or it's any other day, is we still have the power. We still possess the power to choose what our attitude is, what our words are going to be, what our actions are going to be. And if we'll choose all of those things good, then we're choosing to have good experiences, good days, good holidays. So I hope that you guys will choose to have a great one. I hope you do have a great one. And from Christy and I, happy Thanksgiving. Hope that you have a wonderful time with your family. And we love you. We appreciate you so much. Listen, if you are, wherever you're listening to the podcast, man, make sure you hit the follow button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you think. If you want to connect with us, we invite you to check it out. Check us out on Instagram, Chris Lots, Christy Lots, just spelled just like the podcast title. And man, we'd love to hear from you, especially any complaints. Christy loves to take all of those. So she takes care of all the complaints every single week. So just send all of those to her.
And that's probably why you haven't heard back from me yet, because I'm really good at that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, hey, listen, we love you guys. Hope that you have a great Thanksgiving. And until next time.
See ya.
Bye, guys. Have a great one.